Okay, this is Michael O'Quinn, FTT 214. It's the hand checkering lab, the first week. Assignment 2. The first one was the writing assignment for the cradle, which I'm not going to make the cradle because I don't plan on doing that much checkering. Anyways, got the tool. I am a little bit under the weather, so if I'm a little nasally, then it is what it is. I got the tooling with the 90 degree and the cutter to make the actual checkering. I just showed you the book. There's the book, and I have the piece of wood already chalked up in a block right there. So the course said that wants to bring a piece of wood to ultimately a 400 grit sandpaper finish. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of rasp down one side to like a circular, oval, a beveled edge, and then I'll finish it from there. So like I said, there that is, and I'll just rasp this down here. Yeah. Circular edge. Won't take very long. Get what you need. There's that. Hang on, I'll bring you right back. All right, I do have assorted sandpaper. I'm going to use a palm sander. I'm not going to do it by hand. That's just crazy. We had invention of tools. 220 grit, 180. This is an 80 grit, and then 400 grit. So we'll start out with the 80 grit, and we will palm sand that. Most people say you need to put a respirator on. Breathing in California without a respirator will give you cancer, so sure, I'll be fine. I'll be right back to show you my first pass. There's 80 grit, and we will move up to the 180, then the 220, ultimately the 400. Ignore that, got a mess. All right, 180, you can see it's a little bit smoother, not there yet. Next, we'll go in with the 220. All right, that was a 220. I'll bring you along for the 4,000 grit because that's not going to put off as much dust. So stand by for 1 second. All right, we got the 400 grit. Removing the 220, putting the 400 grit on. I will say a lot of people don't know how to use these correctly, but you can't let it spin up and then hit the wood. You need to start it when it's on the wood. So just make it a little loud, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Put it on the wood. All right. You also don't want to keep it in one spot for too long. And this right here is as smooth as a baby's bottom. Look at that right there. Hard to see it on camera, but if you look at the rest of it, that's nice and smooth. So that there is week 1 of the checkering course. Once again, Michael O'Quinn, thanks.